Okay everyone, welcome back to another video. So in this video I will be explaining how you can use LinkedIn advertising to advertise your SaaS and how you can actually use LinkedIn advertising to generate leads. So let's go into LinkedIn. Okay, so what you want to do first of all, you want to create a campaign group. Okay, so create a campaign group. Quite simple. Let's just call this SaaS. Let's say you have a payment software, right? Let's say it's payment software. So we'll just call this payment software. Now, here is where you can choose the objectives. Obviously, you can see this is based on the funnel. So they start at awareness. This is basically where they hear about the business, and then consideration is where they kind of start considering payment software. They obviously they're not ready to make a decision right away, but they're considering. And then this is when they are actually very interested and they will be looking to get more information. So this is where you can set up things like lead generation, website conversions, job applicants. Obviously, this is for recruiting. It's not really for SaaS, so don't worry about this one. Now, the only ones that I would really use for SaaS would be lead generation and website conversions. So I'll go to lead generation. Schedule, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. You just choose when you want to start running the ads and when you want to end the ads. But let's say we just run it for 1 month. So we'll just go to, okay, so now it's set up for 1 month. So go to create, and here it is. Okay, so here is the campaign group. Now, if you want to go into the campaign group, what you want to do is go into it. Now, you want to create a campaign. And this is where we really get into the actual interesting part. So this is where we can do things like targeting. And LinkedIn has very specific targeting. So this is the location. So obviously we're in Australia, but if we want to target other countries, because SaaS isn't based on location, you can go to United States, you can go to United Kingdom, and you can even get very specific. Let's say you want to target just a specific city, you can go to London and target just that city if your SaaS is based on location. But in most cases, SaaS isn't really based on location. So yeah, so you can see now that this is the estimated size of the audience. It's about 1 million, I should say. And here's where you can actually get very specific and target their demographic. So let's say I'm just going to remove all this just to make it simple to understand. So I remove all this, remove all this. Okay. Now let's say you want to target a a specific job title. So you can go to job titles and you can select, let's say it's IT, right? Someone who's an IT manager. You can select IT manager, and it will actually give you suggestions on other similar job titles which you can target. And now you can see the audience size has been reduced because you're targeting not just people in these countries, but you're targeting some very specific job titles, right? So that's a very helpful feature that you can use. Another feature that I think is very useful, and I've used this before, is go to interest and traits and go to member groups. And here you can target, let's say it's a IT, right? People in IT. You can go to very, very specific roles like IT professionals, people that are specifically in this group. And, even if it's something like project management, target people that are very, very specific that are in these groups. Okay. And another thing that you can actually do is you can narrow it and you can target people that are in these groups, as well as people who have specific job titles. So you can go to job titles and you can select directors, right? Managing directors. Yeah. So now it is targeting people that are not only in this IT groups, but they also have these job titles. So so LinkedIn has this benefit where you can get very extremely specific demographics. And this is important because when it comes to paid ads, obviously you don't want to target everyone, especially if your SaaS is kind of a niche SaaS and it's only targeting a very specific, let's say it's a specific job title or it's a very specific industry, then this really helps when it comes to, online ads. I usually don't have this enabled, but it's up to you whether you want to have it enabled or not. Usually it just reaches more people that are kind of similar, but it's not mandatory. I wouldn't really worry about it. This is where you obviously select the format. So if you want to, if you want the ad to be an image or you want the ad to be a video or whatever you choose, you can select it here. I don't really worry about this. This is obviously where you set the budget, and you can always change this if you want to change it to, let's say, $50 a day. You can change it here. So pretty self-explanatory. I don't really worry too much about this. I'd usually just select maximum delivery, but if you want more control, you can do things like manual bidding, and this is where you decide how much you want to spend per click. So let's say you only want to spend the $5 per click, you can always change it. Okay, so that's that. And yeah, the other thing is here is where you basically set up the conversion. So this is useful for people that are actually clicking the ad and going to your website. So if people click on the ad, let's say they see an ad that you're running on LinkedIn and they click on it, then what you can do is you can create a new conversion. Let's say it's a thank you page. And let's say it's a lead. So they submit, let's say they actually make a download. So let's say they download a free PDF guide. And as soon as they submit their email address and their phone number, etc., all their details, they'll go to a thank you page. So then what you can do is you can go to next step, insight code. Here's where you install the code, and what you have to do is you have to add this code to your website. So you add this code to your website in order to track their activity. So if they come through LinkedIn, they click on the ad, they submit their details, and they go to the thank you page. This is basically what you'll use to track their behavior. So let's say let's say the thank you page is something like saas.com/thank you, for example, create, and this is basically what you'll use. This is what you'll use to track their conversions. All right. So next. Okay, so this is where you actually create the ads. So create a new ad. Don't worry too much about naming it. So let's say this is purchase. Oh wait, download free guide for IT managers, right? Something like that as a example. www.saas.com/IT guide, right? Something like that. And then basically this is where you can upload your image. So if you have an image that you want to use, or maybe it's a video, you can basically upload it here. So you just go to here and upload it, and you can add a headline. So let's say free guide to IT managers, something like that. For example, download here, right? Something like that. It doesn't have to be complicated. That's just an example. Now here is where you actually set up the form where they'll submit their details. So yeah, here's where they can submit things like their first name, their last name. You can add the call to action. So let's say it's download now, and then what you can do is if you want to create a new lead gen form, you can create something like this. So you can say download, fill in this form to download your guide. So what you can do here is you can add the very very specific questions. Because obviously, if you're running a SaaS, you want to qualify the leads. You don't want to accept every person, right? So what you can do is you can add things like company, for example, add a company. You can add things like job title. So job title here as an example. Now, obviously, you don't want to add too many things because if you add too many things, then they're going to spend, 5 minutes trying to fill out this form, and it's going to mean you're going to have a lot less conversions. So just try to keep it to at least, maybe five to six different fields which they can fill in, and then you can set this up on LinkedIn. Okay, you can even add custom questions if you have a very specific sort of lead that you're looking to reach. You can add the very specific questions. For example, you can even modify it. So yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory. So I won't really go through that, but yeah. Now, from my experience, I find that these lead gen forms are much more effective at generating leads because they don't have to click on the link and then go to a website and then fill it out. They can just fill it out directly on LinkedIn, right? Because they're already on LinkedIn. So it's much easier for them to just click on the ad and fill out the form. Okay, and then that's pretty much it. Now I can't save it because obviously I don't have the actual, like, obviously this is just an example, but yeah, this is basically what I do. Okay, and then review and launch. Once you're all ready to start running the ads, then all you have to do is enter your payment details, and then you can start running the ads. And then if you want to look at things like performance, what I would do is you can just scroll. Okay, so the main things I would look at would be click-through rates. Obviously, you want to improve the click-through rates because that means more people. It means more efficient advertising. So the more people that click on the ad, more likely to convert into leads. And the other thing I'd look at is cost per lead. Cost per lead is quite important. Either cost per lead or cost per conversion. Okay, so let's say you've calculated that each lead or each conversion is worth about $1,000. So if you're running ads and you're seeing that the cost per lead on average is $2,000, then the ad isn't working. So you want to keep the cost per lead below whatever you've calculated to be profitable, right? And you want to keep it as efficient as you can. It's a bit complicated with things like lifetime value. So you might say that each potential, let's say your SaaS is like $90 per month, right? That wouldn't be the cost per lead because the lifetime value might be a year. So 90 times 12 would be, what's 90 times 12? 90 times 12 is, I think that's what, 100 and, hold on. 90 times 12, calculator, 90 times 12 is, okay, so it'd be $1,080, right? So let's say your average lifetime value is 12 months and your SaaS costs $90 per month. So the actual cost per lead would be $1,000.80, $1,080. That would be the cost per lead. So that's much more, that's a much more accurate way of looking at how you would measure things like cost per lead and cost per conversion. Okay. Um, what else? And yeah, that's the main thing I would look at. And obviously, there's other options. Like you can obviously do things like retargeting. Um, and if you have this site installed on your website, you can look at things like web demographics. So you can see things like the industry, the background of the people that visit your page, the location. So it has very detailed, specific targeting and very detailed, obviously, insights and analytics on people that interact with your ads. Conversion tracking, obviously, that's test. Yeah, so what you can do is you can A/B test your different ads and test different ad creatives, different ad copy, that type of thing. And then yeah, that's pretty much LinkedIn. Now here's also very useful. Audiences. So what you can do is you can upload a contact list or a company list, and you can even retarget website visitors. So these are usually very effective methods when it comes to online ads because obviously people that have already interacted with your ad and shown engagement, they're more likely to basically convert, right? So these are obviously other options that you can do as well. So if you want to go to create audience, retarget by lead gen form, and what you can do is you can target anyone who has opened your lead gen form. And yeah, this is a very, very useful method which you want to run on top of your lead gen ads. So let's say you're running a lead gen ad and then you're getting quite good results, but you're seeing that a lot of people have clicked on the ad but they haven't converted. What you can do is you can have something like this, and you can target people who have this is basically for people who have shown interest but they haven't converted, right? And yeah, this usually generates much better cost per leads and much better click-through rates. So you can save money if you choose to go this method. And yeah, this is pretty much LinkedIn ads. So if you have any questions about LinkedIn ads, leave a comment or send me a message, and I'll be happy to explain a bit more about how to use LinkedIn ads for your SaaS, and other ways that you can generate better conversions and generate leads.